How? I don't get it. How can you be terrible? Pranksters, as defined by Oxford Language, are people or a person who are fond of playing jokes, or more commonly referred to as pranks, obviously. Unfortunately for most Angry Birds people, it's hard for them to write characters like this, and for me it seems like a fairly easy job. Most of the time the characters usually suck. Well, I guess the Blues withstanding, but we'll get to that. Now, I wanted to make a video basically explaining how I feel like they could be fixed and why I don't like them. And before I do anything else, it's fine if you like these guys. It just means you see something in them that I don't, and that you can find the positives in them, which is awesome. So don't take my word for it. Watch the episodes yourself. They're all free on YouTube, so go ahead and give some support too. Well, I don't think there's much else to say, so I guess we should start with Chapter 1. Now let's take a look at the character I think did this archetype right. Well, I guess more specifically, characters. The Blues are three little blue jays who like to pull pranks and have fun. They're little kids and are very overactive. So what makes them so good? It's actually quite simple. When they do their pranks, they never really go over the edge, and it's usually for a good reason. They care more for their allies than they do doing their pranks, and honestly that's way more important as a character because, well, let's be honest, pranks aren't the end-all be-all. You have to be able to have some friends and make sure that they're safe too. Sure, Poppy doesn't wish harm on her friends either, but still. Now at this point you might be asking, what about the Blue spin-off show? Well, yeah, they do act like idiots and do jerkish things too, but like in the Toons episodes, either they fix what they cause, or they're given karma by the end. That, or it's just a funny joke that lands. You know, it really boils down to that. Funny ha-has. I need my funny ha-has in my Angry Birds shows. And thankfully, the Blues deliver on that a lot. Honestly, I feel like that's an important character archetype to have when being a prankster. Being funny. Unfortunately, that's something Poppy can't really say for herself either. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, please don't take everything too seriously in this video. Really, it was just made for fun, I just kind of wanted to touch upon it. And like I said, if you like these characters, that is awesome. Pretty epic, actually. I honestly feel like that's a good thing. Well, now with that out of the way, let's talk about Poppy. Alright, so take everything I said about the Blues when I was praising them, like literally everything, and now just throw it all away, because that's basically Poppy's case right now. Before it's brought up, I just want to clarify that yes, Poppy does experience some cases of karma, and 1 out of 10 chance she does get karma. But usually, A, it's not good enough for the thing she's done, or B, it's for something she never even did in the first place. Which, honestly, isn't that satisfying either. Sure, it is sometimes satisfying to see a character who's been kind of jerkish get comeuppance, but it never feels earned. A big problem about Poppy is that her jokes are not really funny. She is not very funny in my opinion. All her jokes really consist of is just her screaming and overreacting. And honestly, to me, it's not really the funniest thing in the world. Now, believe it or not, it's easier than Kirby Star Allies to make me laugh. I'm just bad at holding laughter back. But if you can't get me to laugh at your joke, you're doing something very wrong. Another problem I have with Poppy is the pranks she pulls. This is where the prankster aspect starts to rub me the wrong way. These don't feel like pranks, more like hostile attacks. It's to the point where her friends are terrified of these pranks. You know, I remind you, these are supposed to be harmless jokes, and Stella's just hiding in her house hoping to not be next with one of her pranks. It's those kinds of things that makes an annoying character less likable. Of course, Poppy being my least favorite character has one of my least favorite episodes in the Angry Birds Stella series, that being episode 8, season 1, The Prankster. It's where most of Poppy's problems really shine. Loud, obnoxious, jerkish, ignorant, just a total idiot lacking self-awareness. She shows that she does not pay attention to her friend's emotions, because if she did, she would immediately stop pranking once she realized that Stella was hiding in her house of terror. Stella and Co can't even have a satisfying ending where Poppy realizes the error of her ways. She just laughs like a total idiot. Due to this, it makes the viewer feel unsatisfied too, and that's really the reason why I hate this episode. There was a point, however, where the writers almost wrote Poppy perfectly. That episode was Season 1, Episode 4, Rock On. It had everything going for it. It literally had the best episode right in its hands. They were about to cross the finish line, and then they face planted. I mean, seriously, it face plants hard. Here, let me just tell you. Poppy and her friends are playing their instruments, and because of the last episode, Poppy's Dabo is still destroyed.
Sign up for something bigger? Okay.
Dahlia helps Poppy to repair the Dabo and upgrades Poppy's drum set in the process.
Nice of her to do that since Poppy's Dabo got destroyed last episode protecting the tree.
Poppy and her friends play their song, but Poppy succumbs to her insane side, destroying her and her friends' instruments. Flock, being mad at Poppy, leave her for ruining their song and their instruments.
Wait, there's consequences for Poppy screwing up? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Really?
Poppy, realizing her mistake, attempts to make amends by promising to be calmer and to help fix up the new instruments.
Yes, 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 yes!
Poppy repeats the same thing that caused the problems and has little to no repercussions because of it.
Wait. What?
Instead of stopping, she plays till night and continues to not understand how her friends want her to stop and does not take the hints when Stella throws a tennis ball on her.
They had it perfect. They had it perfect. Like, they had it perfect. It was right there. It was in their hand. They messed it up.
So yeah, I've made my point, and I pretty much just said everything I wanted to say. Show's over. Go home. No, I'm just messing with you guys. There is one more aspect I want to touch upon, more specifically another character. And if you remember an old video I made, you might know exactly who I am talking about. A lot of what I said in my old video still applies on Wade today, but because it's an old video and it makes me horrifically embarrassed to rewatch, I will just say what I said here. Wade as a character is similar to Poppy. Annoying, brash, unfunny, you get the picture. But you know what? Rewatching the Tiffany episodes over again, I began to realize something. I noticed how less annoyed I was by Wade. Maybe it was because he acted like a normal kid and didn't do horrible things beforehand. But Wade has done really awful things because, well, I made a whole video on it. Of course he's done something terrible. After all, he ruined Tiffany's party and endangered bird lives. However, my opinion on him has completely changed. I realized something that I didn't think of when I was younger and made the video. He's a kid, and he's really young too. He most likely has no idea what he's doing is wrong. Also, more jokes landed with him than what Poppy did. So, what I'm saying is, I think I was way too harsh on him than I should have been. After all, he's a kid, and he's too young to realize he's being a bad one. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not something he should be flaunting that he's a kid. If he was like, I don't know, 10 or 12, I would just tell him to stop it. I don't know what I was saying there, but regardless, age is a really big problem I had with him back then. Because he's a kid, a young kid, so of course he doesn't understand what he's doing is wrong. Brian, on the other hand, should. Now, if you don't know who Brian is a purple bird who wears a cyan, I can't really tell if it's a jacket or a shirt, but whatever. Brian is similar to that of Poppy and, of course, you guessed it, Wade. She is a prankster too. But in my opinion, out of all the prankster characters, she is by far the worst one. You wanna know what happened? You wanna know what she did during her episode where she pranks all the birds? Well, she hits Tiffany in the head with a bucket, traps a hatchling in a tree, scares the hatchling, sprays 3 different birds with mustard, cheese, and paint, and off-screen she breaks Enrique's glasses. Should I mention that 3 of those pranks are on hatchlings? You know, children? Brian's new leaf tries to redeem her, but honestly, she does not deserve a redemption. The only things she did are problems, and she shouldn't get a second chance. I mean, for crying out loud, Tiffany had to make an entire siren for her. Really, I don't think there's any reason she should be redeemed. With all we covered today, I think I finally figured out why the pranksters in this world are usually terrible, and narrowed it down into 4 reasons. Reason 1. The pranksters in question are too ignorant to understand what they do is wrong. You know, think back to Poppy. She never understood what she was doing was wrong and stupid, and never stopped doing what she was doing. Reason 2. They aren't funny to counterbalance their stupidity. The Blues are pranksters, sure, but they had very good jokes to counterbalance this. Reason number 3. Whenever they do their pranks, they never have karmic retribution for it. Again, think back to the Blues. They never got off scot-free for most of the series, and if they didn't, they had a reason to do so regardless. And finally, reason 4. The pranks they do are more like assaults than actual harmless jokes. Brian is pretty much what this is in a nutshell. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say for this entire video. These characters should be funny, but we don't laugh. We're like, oh my gosh, what? That's pretty much the only way I can really describe them. Thank you all for watching this video. And in the beginning of the video, if you do like these characters, that's perfectly fine. I don't really mind if you don't like these characters, and I don't mind if you do like these characters. We all have opinions. Share them. Let me know what your opinions of these characters are in the comments below. I'd love to hear them. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!